Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Rainbow Six Siege video here on the channel. In today's video, what I have for you is the brand new designer notes for Year 8 Season 3, Operation Heavy Metal. And in today's video, we're going to be going over the biggest changes coming with Operation Heavy Metal. But first, if you guys are new to the channel, consider dropping a subscription down below, as it would greatly help my goal of getting to 5K subscribers. And if this video helped keep you informed, leave a like down below, and drop a comment on the video letting me know what your favorite change is or your least favorite change is. Of course, starting off with some typical stuff here, the win delta rate per operator presence. This is typical and it doesn't quite really change. Of course, we can see here on defenders though, Warden is just completely 50% over in the presence of all. I wonder why. Maybe they gave him a 1.5. He doesn't need it. Take it away. And the second part here is the ban rate. Of course, Thatcher and Jackal, typical bans. Kapkan and Cade on console, not sure why Kapkan's banned, and on PC it's Mira and Fenrir, understandable as to why both of them are banned as well. And of course, to my thought, they have a message from the team here. We've been observing both Yana and Warden's continuous ascent to the top tiers of the presence in matches. We are aware of the situation and the issue behind it. Yana's high presence is mainly driven by her access to frag grenades, while Warden's high presence relates to the strength of his 1.5 on defender loadouts. No, really? I think most of the community knows that this is the reason why Warden was so prevalent, is solely for that 1.5. People play Warden only for the 1.5. They don't use their ability. They just W key, they try to spawn peek, and the 1.5 on the MPX is absolutely disgusting. So I can see that getting taken away probably in the mid-season patch notes, so stay tuned for that. But first, we're going to get into the operator balancing changes here. The first operator to get a change in the operator balancing is Fuse. So Fuse's cluster charges can now be deployed on deployable shields and Osa's Talon shields. They stated that they want to create some new synergies between Fuse and Osa. Not sure exactly why they're doing this. It's just kind of a small little change. I don't think anybody really asked for it, but it's kind of cool being a Fuse player if you are able to put that on a deployable shield and get rid of other stuff behind that shield. I don't see this being too prevalent in the high ranking leagues. It could be pretty cool in the lower leagues. You could do some cool strats. I'm thinking of maybe putting a ram charge down to open up the floors, putting an Osa shield on a window and launching the pucks in through the floor beams. That could be one thing, but again, it's probably going to be somewhat situational. When people do see that Osa shield, impacts typically fly right out. The second change here on the list is going to be to 0. So his Argus cameras can now pierce through deployable shields and Osa shields as well. So same change as Fuse, but only on the Argus cameras. They did make a change to him a couple patches ago where you have the option to change where you want to burrow your 0 Argus camera to. So another little 0 change, no one really asked for, but it's something cool for 0 players. Third operator change here is going to be for Grim. Now this is a part 2 buff that they are adding to Grim. They are adding a switchability mode from sticky to bouncy, so it's similar to Zophia's concussion grenade. You're going to be able to bank shots off of walls or off of doorways. It's going to give you a little more accessibility to getting those bees into specific hard spots, not exposing yourself when you try to lean into sight and shoot that gun, because right now to deploy the bees you need to show yourself and lean into sight or lean exactly where you're trying to shoot the bees. So now it should just be a little easier to bounce these bees into specific areas that you want, kind of bank shot them into sight. The next operator change is to Lesion, and this is a massive buff for you Lesion mains. Now this is to the goo mines. So the gadget type is now a mechanical goo mine. It's not affected by EMP grenades. The initial damage is increased to 5 HP from 0. They did take the damage away a couple seasons ago. Now they're reverting it back. The poison damage has been increased to 12 right off the rip instead of 8, and the poison timer is reduced to 2 seconds instead of 2.5. They also removed the cloaking ability, similar to what they did to Echo a while ago. So now it'll be able to be seen right in the open. It will not camouflage itself as well in the surrounding area. The HUD icon has been removed as well, and stepping on a goo while being affected by another one will reset the poison timer, dealing the poison damage instantly. So you can now stack goo mines on top of each other. So if you run into 3 goo mines, you're going to get hit with 36 HP poison damage right off the rip. In theory, technically, you can pretty much down people with goo mines. They added an area effect as well for feedback, so you'll see a little white rim around the area of effect. They also increased his resources from 8 to 9, so now he has 9 goo mines, totaling up to 118 damage, so you can pretty much knock a 3-speed operator with all 9 Lesion mines if you choose to put them in one doorway. The gadget refill timer has also been reduced to 20 seconds from 30, so a 10-second reduce, so he's going to generate his mines a little more, because previously his last goo mine you would get at the end of the round, like 15-20 seconds at the end of the round. So it was kind of useless. So if Lesion died off, you wouldn't be able to get all those traps down. But now hopefully he will be able to get some of those traps down a little bit quicker with this reduced time. So that is a massive Lesion buff. And they also changed his loadout a little bit. So they added a super shorty shotgun as his secondary weapon. So now Lesion is going to be pretty much an on-site presence. He's going to be able to create rotates. He's going to have a lot more damage to his goon mines. He's going to have more mines, adding one more, and it's going to be a little more of a heavy presence for Lesion. So I would say you're going to see Lesion a little bit more in the new season for sure. But another operator that is getting a rework is Frost. Now, it was not included in the Year 8 Season 3 patch notes, but it was included in last season's patch notes. So if you see on screen here in the mid-season roadmap update, they announced in Season 3 that there was going to be a rework of Frost. And in the rework here, it says that it is confirmed for Year 8 Season 3. After the feedback received from the Lab TS, they've decided to make some changes and rebalance Frost in Season 3. This new rework will be released with Season 3. So basically, when you hit a Frost mat, you will be in a down but not out state. You will be able to free yourself from the bear trap, but you will have a significant debuff for up to 60 seconds. You are basically limping around. If you have a teammate come and res you, you will lose any of those debuffs and you should be fine with 20 HP left. They also tweaked the duration of how long it takes to take the bear trap off of you. It used to be 2 seconds, but they noticed that was way too quick, so they implemented a 4.5 second buffer between getting the trap off your foot. So it does take a little more time to get off, and you will have that debuff with the blood trail following you, and you'll be limping. So a weird Frost rework. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I think Frost was fine how she was, so we'll see how it plays out. They did not include this in the current patch notes. I'm not sure why. I think they are still tweaking it on the test server, so once the live season comes out, she may be a little bit different than what it is in the test server. So getting into gadget balancing. So they are making some changes to the bulletproof glass on deployable shields. So hitting a shield with a melee will shatter the glass slits on the actual shields themselves. So this is a small but very unique change that I think is going to change how people play shields. So if you can see on screen right now, it's basically going to spiderweb the whole glass and you're unable to see through on the other side of the shield. And they stated that we have taken the opportunity to update the shattered glass system for deployable shields along with the changes to fuse. If the shield receives a melee hit, the glass part of the window will be shattered. So this is a very cool but small change, and I really enjoyed this change. Getting into the weapon balancing, and this is probably the biggest change that I think I've ever seen in the history of Siege, and this is to shotguns. So the base stats here. Every shotgun, excluding the Boss G12, the TSG on Cade, and the AC12 on Alibi and Maestro, have had the following changes. Ranges are normalized into 3 stages. 0 to 5 meters, each pellet damage deals 100% of the base damage. 6 to 10 meters, each pellet deals 75% of the base damage, and 13 meters and above, each pellet deals 45% base damage. So if you have, say, a shotgun that did 100 damage per shot, in theory, this is just hypothetically speaking, it's not possible, but 100 damage per shot and you're at 0 to 5 meters, you're going to get that 100% damage. Now 6 to 10 meters, you're only going to get 75 damage. 13 meters and above, you'll get 45 damage. So take that into consideration with, what the actual damage is on the gun and scale it down based off the percentages. They also changed the headshot multiplier. So a pellet getting the headshot multiplier deals 1.5 times the damage after its range modifier. So again, you take it at 0 to 5 meters, 100% base damage, but if it's a headshot, it's 1.5 times, so it's technically 150% damage. They also changed the hipfire spread, and they've revisited and redistributed it across the board. Shooting while aimed down sights results in a tighter spread across the board. Note that this effect is not new, just being increased to reward players when aiming down sights. So now the shotguns are absolutely nasty. If you guys remember from way back in the day, the Sniper 90 on Frost, that's pretty much what every shotgun's going to be like now. It's just an absolute yam cannon, so shotguns are going to be extremely powerful and extremely viable. So I would say when you're launching into this new season, shotguns are going to be way more prevalent and you're going to see them a lot more often. As well, they made one change to the spread, and they increased the spread when you are moving. So typically on the bailiff or any other shotgun, if you move back when you're trying to hit a wall for destruction, you'll get a larger destruction phase. You will see your sight actually expand a little bit, and that's how you know you'll get the larger increase for that spread. Now that's going to be better for rotates, so all shotguns are getting this. They also made some changes to the playlist ecosystem update, so some base changes here for casual. Action phase has been reduced to 165 seconds instead of 180. The operator pick phase duration has been reduced to 20 seconds from 30 as well. Additionally, if the round did not involve a role swap, the operator pick phase is reduced to 15 seconds. The prep phase has been reduced to 30 seconds as well from 15. Objective locations are automatically revealed for attackers at the start of the round. Now they're also taking this chance to implement 2 new concepts to quick match playlists. So these are the pre-setups and the attacker safeguard. So pretty much what pre-setups are is for every map pool, they've designed 2 sets of pre-setups for each bomb site. Basically, these are going to be pre-setup reinforcements, pre-setup rotates. And the attacker safeguard quick match will no longer... Basically, the attacker safeguard is as well. This is only for casual. The first 10 seconds of the round, both attackers and defenders, so there will be no spawn peeking in the first 10 seconds. This is only for casual if this made it in. And the last change in the patch notes here is some base changes to unranked. It is no longer called unranked, it's just tactical. They removed operator and map ban phases, and they changed the amount of overtime rounds to 1 instead of 3, so games won't go out as long. And the clearance level is level 0 now, so anybody can go into this tactical game mode now. So basically, tactical is the new casual. Casual is a little bit different. It's kind of for new players learning and actually evolving with the game. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Let me know how you feel about it down in the comments. And with that, that is pretty much it for the patch notes for Year 8 Season 3. Again, let me know what you guys think down below. I'm personally excited for some of these operator challenges. Grim is going to be a lot better now, being able to bounce his bees. With the previous update as well, he's just been super potent now, and I think he's actually going to be able to get some pings off with his bees. Pretty excited for the Lesion change as well as the fuse change, being able to put those on shields. It's going to be kind of cool to see it. But with that, that's going to wrap it up for the designer notes. Let me know again what you guys think down below. Drop a comment of what your favorite changes or your least favorite changes. And with that, I hope you guys have a good rest of your night, morning, evening, whatever it may be. Take care, brush your hair, be kind to one another, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Adios.